Mr. Board President, members of the board, and Dr. Swanson, thank you for allowing us to highlight our school in our data presentation this evening. And before we begin, I just wanted to point out we recently re-mascotted our school. We are the Owls. So the friendly skies have more than one bird flying up there. That would be the WAIS Owls. Okay, move on to.
Okay. Yeah.
Is that better? That's better, huh?
Okay, there we go. You can
Okay.
slide two. So this is a short video prepared by our assistant principal, Melissa Sandoval, and our students and staff. It highlights our shared vision at the school, which we feel is critical to our success. So you can go ahead, cue it up.
There we go. It's moving now.
Buongiorno.
Aloha. Bonjour.
Namaste.
Guten Tag.
Buenos dias.
Barov
Ni hao.
Bienvenidos a nuestra escuela.
Start here, go anywhere.
Our shared vision is start here and go anywhere.
Start here, go anywhere.
That our shared vision is not just for the students, but for the staff as well. So I think that if we start here, we can go anywhere with collectively as a group. So all of the efforts that we've been putting in are starting to pay off, and I think it will take us good places.
I think to me and our kids, it means kind of keeping that growth mindset about everything is about the effort you put in, the success in life that you're going to get, and to start here, to put in the effort in now, it's going to lead to something successful later on in their lives.
Studies. We are not just learning the language, we're also learning different cultures. So whenever our students grow up, they go to college, they know how to deal with people from different worlds, and they also know second language.
That means that the kids can be able to appreciate other cultures, know about them, wake up the curiosity of what is outside.
Students, it really means that they're able to go anywhere in life. They have college available, they have jobs available, we even have a travel opportunity available. So we really see that vision and that mission throughout our school and everything we do and beyond.
Start here, go anywhere.
So special thanks to Mrs. Sandoval, our assistant principal, who put this together using an iPhone, believe it or not. All we were missing was the Steve Saunders voiceover, and we'd be ready for prime time. So we're going to be posting this up on our website. The shared vision is simple: start here, go anywhere. And we feel that this is foundational for our success. You can turn the slide. This vision led to our innovation plan that we passed last year, and it should look familiar to the board. Here's the cover of it. And we think it accurately captures the spiritual essence of our school. And so while I'm up here tonight, I'm not up here as somebody sharing our data with you all. It's your data as well. We could not have done this without the Board of Education's support. And this is as much a report out to you as a thank you note to you all. So as an overview, WAIS, or WAIS, if you prefer, serves about 275 students, 80% free and reduced lunch, and about 40 are culturally and linguistically diverse. So of that 40%, we had 28 students test as no English proficiency, 59 as limited English proficiency, and 21 as fluent language proficiency. Well, I'm referencing this number a little bit later on in this presentation. I'm going to be talking about our CLD students, our culturally and linguistically diverse students specifically. So I just want you to keep these 100 or so students in the back of your mind, and I'll be referencing them later a little bit when we talk about data. For this diverse group of students, the WAIS offers a unique international studies curriculum, which includes Spanish and Mandarin classes daily for students, as well as a capstone travel opportunity for students we'll be launching in the 2018-2019 school year. A little about our history. WAIS is housed in what was once Westminster Elementary. In the winter of 2016, demographers estimated that Westminster Elementary enrollment would drop below 200 students in the next 3 years, making the school financially insolvent. This change was largely due to demographic shifts in the area, but complicating matters was Westminster Elementary's dipping in and out of that priority improvement category. The building was opened the following year as Westminster Academy for International Studies, with a specific academic focus on international studies in order to retain and attract students while raising performance. In the 2016-17 school year, the staff at WAIS passed an innovation plan through the Westminster Board of Education, as well as the State Board of Education, with wide support from the community and staff. The generous plan approved by this board afforded us many more full-time positions, including an assistant principal. We feel this is essential to our success. The passing of the plan, I'm sure as you remember, was a task in and of itself. It's definitely heavy lifting on part of our staff as well as this board. Yet, while we were doing that heavy lifting, we were able to raise our school performance framework. So this is the number that you're looking at here. We started out in the 2016-17 school year as a score of 43, so that's barely into the improvement category. And in just 1 year's time, we've jumped an impressive, we feel, 22 points to 65.7, well within that performance category. So in short, we took WAIS from barely yellow to pretty darn green. Reasons for our improvement were thanks to unified improvement steps. This is a laundry list up here. You can read those to yourself. This was developed by the staff and monitored by administration. If you have questions on any one of these specific items, feel free to ask me. It was a plan that was developed by the team and monitored by the team. So these steps led to strong growth across virtually all subcategories, which fueled our school performance framework. So a few places that I think are relevant to look at. If you look at the overall growth, right up there, yep, perfect. English language arts at 60th percentile, and then over, yep, to the math at the 59th. So those are great numbers for us, but if you wanted to reference those CLD learners again, if Veronica, you can, that dark blue spot right there is something we are particularly proud of, our CLD students performing in that 66th percentile for ELA. So goals for this year. For elementary, we'd like to raise the achievement in reading and math again, beyond the next cut scores, to 752 in math and 755 in ELA as the mean achievement score. This is a 22-point jump. Our goal is to exceed our growth from last year by moving from the 60th percentile to the 65th, all areas. You can move to the next one. For middle, we have an ambitious goal of raising our mean scaled score 30 points in math and 33 in ELA. Our growth percentile goal is, again, 65th. Both of these goals, honestly, will be difficult, but if I didn't think that we were up to the task, I wouldn't be up here telling you that I think we are up to the task. I think it's going to be a challenging year, but my prediction is that we will get there. Next year around this time, my hair might be a little more grayer for the effort, but my wife says that the Anderson Cooper look is really in right now, so I'm okay with it. Finally, this plan is aligned with the district management plan. Although an innovation school, we orbit the CBS system in all ways, from data tracking to instructional delivery to scheduling. Our innovation plan and unique school model is designed to attract and retain top talent. We believe that it's already doing so. Our focus on foreign language, world culture, and personal and social habits ensures our students are ready for work after high school. And we do run, although it wasn't highlighted specifically here, we run one of those full-day preschool programs that you gentlemen just spoke about, and which we are extremely thankful for. With that, that's my presentation. I'll be happy to field any questions you may have.
Thank you, Mr. Warwick. Board questions? Mr. Trancho?
I have one question. Can you go back to the slide? I don't know. It listed the 5 or 6 things that you and your staff developed. One was student buy-in, student ownership.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about what that means?
Yeah, we tackle that in a couple different ways. We use every day class begins with what is called a morning meeting, in which we really ground the kids into the community of the classroom. You know, it's not academic at all. It's about building community. So from that point, that kind of emotional groundwork is laid. And then within our academic day, every student has a data notebook in which in both literacy and math as well, in which they're setting goals, tracking the goals with their teachers, and then, you know, checking and adjusting as they go through a number of different assessments. You know, off the top of my head, we definitely do Dibbles and Scantron, but we also really monitor those CBS target goals as well. So the kids really have an ownership over, you know, their performance all throughout the school year. In addition, our older students are getting more and more proficient with the Empower system. So you're starting to see, you know, our 3rd, 4th, 5th graders getting really fluent with tracking their own progress within Empower and guiding their education a little bit more. So we're continuing to build those systems, but we're really happy with the amount of buy-in that we're seeing from the kids.
One of the questions I have, so in looking at, and congratulations and to you as well as especially the teachers.
Thank you.
I know there's a lot of hard work that goes in, and I get to interact with the faculty there more than any other school since my children go to WAIS. But one of the things I wanted to talk about, since there was a 22% growth. Now my biggest rate in growth from where you were at improvement from 42.6 to performance 65.
The jump in achievement.
The jump in achievement. Yeah. So in looking at that growth, how are we going to sustain that?
Well, I think we have to look at closing gaps. If you're looking at moving those kids up that big of a jump, we have to be really strategic about how we're using our interventionists and how we're tiering different instructions. I'm trying not to go into educator ease here, but
thank you.
So yeah, you're welcome. Simply put, we've built into our schedule a 45-minute block where with our extended day, our day goes from 8 o'clock to 3:40 in the afternoon. We have this 45 minutes of time in which we can target instruction to the kids that need to make that serious jump, and we can give them that daily dose every single day, that 45 minutes to help close whatever gap that is. And that can be in English language arts, it can be in math, science, social studies. You know, we have a great flexibility to help target some of that instruction. So that's probably the primary way that we're going to close that gap. And you know, I would go back to the data back on the board and say that we've already taken one step to doing it. We just need to complete that goal in the next year, get our kids up there.
Do you, and maybe this is for you, Oliver, as well. I mean, why did we see that much growth? What specifically? And I know that we're always data mining and looking.
It's specific to actually scoring in the achievement side of the school performance framework. So the growth that he made was considerable there in terms of the 60th percentile. The average growth across the state is in the 50th percentile. So 65th percentile is well within the ability, so provided the supports are present. And from what Mr. Warwick has said, the supports are there, and they're even getting those more refined within the building. So it is doable, but you have to be able to shift that growth piece into the achievement piece and continue to grow the achievement over time. And that really is focusing on individual students, like Mr. Warwick was saying.
Mr. President, if I could jump in for a second.
Yes, Dr. Thompson.
Mr. Warwick, I know that we talk a lot about public accountability. I mean, that's why we're doing these education reports. But why don't you let the board know where they can see at a glance when they go in your school how the children are doing?
So we're getting a really great visual for our school this week, and it's Empower. It's the best way to describe it is kind of like a fuel gauge, if you can picture that. And we're going to be hanging that in the intermediate hallway, and it's really central. All kids have to pass by it in order to get to language class, and all teachers walk their kids to those classes. So we're constantly seeing these numbers, and that's really a metric for us, quick, easy, and visible for us to track our progress across the school year. So each month we're going to be updating that meter and showing our kids moving closer and closer to making that 1 or 1.5 year of academic growth, depending on where they're at.
What is math spiraling?
Thank you. I was waiting for that one. So math spiral. Okay, I try not to get too technical, but when you're teaching math, what you want to do is you have to remember it's a practice, right? So in literacy naturally goes over the same ideas over and over again. What can happen in math is that you can cover one topic, let's say fractions, at the beginning of the year, and then you jump into, telling time and geometry, and you can not touch fractions if you're not careful till the very end of the year before the test hits. So spiraling in math is a way to teach it as a discipline where you're going over the same concepts kind of repeatedly over and over throughout the school year. So although you're moving on to different topics, there's always that review and preview. And that is one of the key things that we found was helped our math scores tremendously, is just making sure we are constantly refreshing or spiraling around those topics.
Thank you.
The only thing that I would continue to recommend, and this is as a parent, not as a board member, since we're learning foreign languages, it would be nice if maybe there was a parent academy where I can help out with Mandarin, because when Ida comes home, I have no idea what she's talking about. I don't know if she's on track or not.
I'll run that by Ms. Wang. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All righty. Board, any other questions, comments? All right. Well, Mr. Warwick, thank you. Thank your staff. And we always forget one group when we talk about increases in test scores, and that's the students themselves. They took those horrible tests. So well done, kids. I see a bunch of them from our middle schools in here tonight. How many of you have data notebooks? Hold up your hand. Do you love your data notebooks? Yay. Not as much as the elementary students. No, it's actually pretty fun when we have our district showcase. And in fact, Veronica, do we know when that is on the calendar this year?
October 17th.
Well done. When we have the district showcase and showcase all of our elementary, middle, and high schools and all their achievements in that, we just took what the state required and we added flash to it and made it a fun evening. But when you get the students who literally grab you when you're talking to a note and say, let me show you my data notebook, it's really exciting to see their investment in their education. So well done. Keep up the good work.